an event. Many dominant statements made, rising stars, technical masterclasses, 2 new world champions, and one of the most important matches in the history of the sport. Let's break down all of that and more in this video. Hello again, Blackbird here. I feel like this sport has been on such a rise in the recent years. So many new people coming into the sport, either as competitors or as fans. And with every event, it just seems to get bigger and better. In my opinion, we are closer than ever to achieving that mainstream dream. It seems to me that it's now just a matter of time. Now let's analyze the cool shit that happened this event. The first topic is the potential of Artem Samson. So in my predictions, I believed that Artem Samson was gonna dominate the match against Alexei Zavarashvili, which of course didn't happen because Alexei was able to neutralize Artem's top row chain with an incredible amount of side pressure even without the wrist. But to be honest, I am still on the Artem Samson hype train. I feel like if he just develops more side, then together with his elite top roll, he'll be at least top 3 in the class, because I truly believe if you put him up against any top roller, he's gonna slam them. I'm really curious to see how he does in the future. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the rise of the Bornman brothers. Devon and Ricard have both gotten wins at the latest East vs West. Devon beating the German champ Andrei Nikonenko and Ricard beating Lars Rohrbacken, which is a tough puzzle to crack. Lars pulls on the extreme sides of arm wrestling, similar to Michael Todd, which means he can present a large challenge. From the East vs West 22 after pulls, he really looked like he was in tremendous shape. I actually predicted him to win as I saw him crack Lars Rohrbacken and Alex Kordecha. But the strength of Ricard is truly remarkable. I feel like in less than 2 years he is gonna crack the top 10 at least. And Devon at 17, it doesn't make any sense to be that strong and large. The potential of both brothers is incredible. Moving on, it's the most aggressive moment probably in the history of East vs West. In my opinion, there were like 2 crazy clashes at East vs West. The first one is what I like to call the Engin incident at East vs West 15, and now crazy clash between Matt Mask and Aymeric Redines. So what happened? Well, after the first round, when Aymeric won, he got really hyped up and he actually started pushing Matt Mask, who got incredibly angry. Then Devon was standing behind Aymeric and it was like a crazy situation. It's honestly a miracle that they didn't start just fist fighting head on right there. But moments like these, even if we do not like them, they definitely bring attention, they bring eyes to the sport. Whether it's the verbal trash talk, the verbal fight, or the physical one. Moving on, one of the most dominant statements made. Alizhan Muratov versus Artem Morozov. There is a 40 kilo difference between these 2 athletes. There is a 15 centimeter difference. It's a completely different size of man, and by every metric Artem Morozov is way larger. But still, the strength, the explosivity of Alizhan Muratov is absolutely unparalleled. He destroyed Morozov 3-0. It wasn't close at all. The whole match lasted like 3 seconds outside of the straps, instant pins, not even a slip. Although there is probably more to this story. Later, Devon Larratt revealed that when he spoke to Artem Morozov, he said to him that after his injury he doesn't have an inside game. But still, I feel like even if he was 100% in shape, in form, he wouldn't be stopping Alizhan. Now the only question for Alizhan Muratov is, can he somehow attain the super heavyweight world title? He defeated Artem Morozov, and can he somehow go up against Vitaly Laletin? Can he in any way match that? Because it just feels so incomprehensible that you would have someone with the size of Alizhan beating Vitaly, because I cannot imagine Alizhan's wrist containing the whole top row chain of Vitaly Laletin. If that happens, I feel like that would be one of the largest upsets ever in the sport. But that's exactly, we just need to see that match, because you genuinely don't know with Alizhan. We still haven't seen his limit. We haven't seen him stop. We haven't seen him at the red line. The only time was like 3 years ago against Oleg Petrenko when he was like 15% of his peak shape. But now when he's fully trained up, I mean, it's unbelievable what he's capable of doing. The genetics of Genghis Khan are truly incredible and lying within Alizhan. Really, the match between him and Vitaly needs to happen. Moving on, Manifestor. I have to glaze myself a little bit here, because I predicted, even before the Vlad match, that Manifestor is gonna get the 85 kilo world title. And here it is, 4-0, absolutely dominant sweep from him, it wasn't close at all, dethroning the 10-time world title holder, David Samushia. And now he's planning to move up to 95 kg, and I'm very curious to see how he does there. It feels like his future is incredibly bright, and I wonder if he can even match Oleg Petrenko in the future, because it doesn't seem impossible to me. The next topic is the potential of Brian Shaw. I saw this match as a really good benchmark for Brian. I saw this match as the one that would tell me what level can Brian reach in the future. Now, I expected that Leonidas was gonna win that match, because I know that Leonidas truly is on a high level. I mean, he destroyed Schoolboy, he had a very close fight with John Brzenk, he had a better hook, he had a better top roll than John Brzenk. I wouldn't be surprised if he's like top 15 in the world currently. And it was a huge task for Brian to take on such a champion after just 2 years in the sport. But this match showed to me that Brian truly has the ability to get to the peak of the mountain. Not sure if he can become the top one in the world, but at minimum top 5. At some points he was cracking the wrist of Leonidas, and that flop press of his is absolutely devastating. I feel like if he can perfect that, that can be such a weapon, and if he can add that top roll to it, it will be a deadly combination, because he has the size for it. He just needs to get that arm wrestling IQ in, just practice more and more. I feel like in a 5 years time he's gonna be at the top. He just must not quit. And from what I've heard in his career in strongman, he had to battle through that adversity. He really learned and adapted, and it seems like he is applying this mindset here as well. After the match with Leonidas, you know, he wasn't taking it too emotionally. He was analytically thinking about what he can improve in the future, and I think that's an absolutely amazing mindset. So I am really curious who is gonna go up against next, and yeah, in a few years I could imagine him doing amazing things. Now the main topic is of course Devon Larratt versus Vitaly Laletin, one of the most important arm wrestling matches in history. You know, the peak of Canada, peak of the West versus the strongest Russian soldier, as Devon said it himself. I believe that Vitaly Laletin is the worst possible opponent for Devon Larratt. Truly the worst stylistic match you could give Devon, it's Vitaly. He has a longer lever than him, he has longer fingers, and he has a very strong side pressure and a good flow. And Devon prepared like hell for this match. I truly found it incredible the way he won this match. Even though I had a very similar prediction to how the match turned out, I didn't expect Devon to be so long, so stretched in that King's move, and then be able to come back more in the center and actually win on endurance, just holding it with the pronator and the back pressure. That's, in my opinion, the biggest weakness. In the past we saw that when Devon's back pressure was exposed, the endurance just went down with every round. We saw it 2 years ago against Gennady, when Gennady flopped through Devon. Against Kamil on the left, it happened to Devon on the left against Vitaly, of course. It happened to him against Levan. The first round the back pressure held, but once he got to that elastic limit, stretched out, there was nothing left. If I were to analyze it, I feel like the reason he was able to not gas out was that he actually wasn't going at 100% capacity in that King's move. He wasn't doing everything in his power from the start to get out of it. He was actually resting in that position, which seems crazy to me, because I believe that he didn't have that stickiness of Michael Todd to be able to hold it there, but somehow his back pressure was otherworldly. Now I'm really curious to see if he can replicate something like that against Levan. But I still feel like if he were to go against Levan, there is one weakness still. That's his riser. Against Vitaly, we could see that it was slightly dropping before he tired out Vitaly. His riser was going down and he just had to go to the defensive. And I feel that would be a problem against Levan, because every time we saw that the main thing failing for him against Levan was the riser with back pressure. The back pressure problem seems to be fixed, but I would still be worried about that riser. But if he can be that comfortable in a King's move against a flop out of all techniques, I truly think he may have a chance for the #1 spot in the world. And if he reaches that, my God, I would genuinely start calling him the greatest arm wrestler of all time at that point. but more on that later. So these were my top picks from the EvW 23 event. East vs West 24 is happening in a few weeks from now on. And if you want to get the in-person tickets or get the merch, then make sure to click the link in the description for a 5% discount. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps me to support myself and this channel. So that's everything from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and bye bye.